Hello everyone, it's Maha. I'm very excited to be here with you guys today because I'm going to share an exercise with you which I've been wanting to share for a very long time here on my channel. This exercise is called blind contour drawing, and it's an exercise that I learned when I was in art school in first year drawing class, and it's an exercise that I've also taught to my students of all ages in preparation for drawing, because this exercise teaches you to become a better observer, which is an essential ingredient to learning how to draw. Now, before I go further, I just want to emphasize that you do not need to know anything previously about art. You don't need to know how to draw. You do not have to be an artist to participate in this exercise. In fact, that is why I'm sharing it with you, because it's an exercise that's more about the process of engaging the right hemisphere of your brain. It's almost like an exercise for your intuitive right hemisphere of the brain. And it will help you to become a better observer of everything around you. I spoke about this exercise in one of my previous videos called lucid dreaming, which I'll post down below if you want to watch that if you haven't already seen it. I just talked about it and I thought I was going to share it with you at some point on my channel, and I'm very excited to guide you through this exercise. In the second part of this video, I will have a model. So one of my friends who's going to demonstrate while I walk you through the exercise. So you'll have a chance to hear me talk about it first, prepare yourself, and whenever you're ready, then you can begin the exercise either today or another day, but it's only going to take you a couple of minutes and it's so beneficial. So I really invite you, I would love to invite you to participate in the exercise and tell me how you found it and what you learned from it if you've never tried it already. Now, the end product is not important here. You're going to just end up with a bunch of chicken scratches. In fact, it's not going to be anything that's going to be a beautiful object to hang on your wall. So, you want it to look messy. You don't want it to look nice and organized, because if it looks nice and organized, I know you were cheating. That's not the point of the exercise. The point is to really engage with the object before you. Throughout my years of teaching, I can tell you that the people who enjoyed this exercise the most and did the best kind of drawings in the end were young children, just 6- and 7-year-old children, because at that age they don't have yet that capacity of the brain that is in charge of judging what they're doing, and they're not comparing themselves to anyone. They're just going with it. They're just really engaged in the process. And I remember once I was teaching this same exercise to a group of women, middle-aged women, who were lawyers. And one of these women just could not get herself to let go. And the whole entire time, she just couldn't do the exercise. And it was just so interesting to watch her kind of really struggling within herself. She just could not do it. Her concrete left brain thinking was just not letting go. This exercise is fully about engaging with your right brain, and it's an exercise of hand-eye coordination. So your brain, your eyes see what's before you, they take the information, and then you're immediately transferring it onto the paper with your pencil, with your hand. So it's like a communication between your hand and your right brain. And then what the challenge is that the left brain is going to want to interfere once in a while. So while you're doing the exercise, you're going to find yourself judging what you're doing. Self-critical thoughts will come up. Blockages will resurface. You might start to feel uncomfortable. And some of you might just have a really great time, and maybe a lot of you will just find it's just very nurturing and flowing. So I just want to reassure you again that it's not an exercise to test your artistic skills in any way. Okay, so now that we're ready to begin. All you'll need is one pencil, so a simple HB pencil, a piece of paper, and an object. Now, I want you to just look around and see if you can find an object that's a natural form object, so something from nature. And I know those of you who are subscribers of my channel, you probably all have some type of shell or a plant at your place. You can also use vegetables. Red peppers and green peppers, cabbages, those are really great because they have all these organic lines. Now, what I mean by organic lines as opposed to angular lines is that they are more groovy and round. So you want a shape, you want something that has a lot of different kinds of lines in it. I have some shells here, which I'm going to use for the exercise with my friend. And they're just simple shells. So when you look at shells, you see that they have all kinds of round edges, grooves, highlights, and so as opposed to picking something like an apple or a banana, even though they are organic shapes, you want something that has more form. You don't need to pick anything complicated, so you don't need to find like a huge plant with all these complex leaves. Shells are great. Like I said, peppers, you can cut the pepper in half if you like. And I also have a really great book to suggest to you if you want to go ahead and learn more about blind contour drawing, which I will suggest to you at the end of the video. And I will also put it in the description menu. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're back, and here's my friend Rana. She's going to be modeling while I demonstrate and walk you through the exercise. So you can choose either to keep watching the video and follow along with us and then proceed doing the exercise on another time, or you can pause the video right now, grab what you need, and then continue the exercise with us. So just before we start, I'm going to tell you why the exercise is called blind contour drawing. So the reason it's called blind contour drawing is because you're not allowed to look down on the paper while drawing. Okay, so you can't look down to see what you're doing. You are to fix your gaze directly on your object. In this case, Rana's going to be drawing the shell for us, which I showed you earlier. And Rana's actually never done the exercise before, right? Which is really great because you don't have to know how to do this exercise or previously have any knowledge of it. You can just join us for the first time, grab your pencil, and try out the exercise. So because you can't look down on the paper, it's a challenge for your conscious mind. And this is why it's sometimes referred to as active meditation, because you're going to be directly experiencing what's in front of you. So really the reason why artists begin learning this exercise when they're learning how to draw is so they can really learn how to see what's in front of them. So they're not just drawing what they think the object looks like. They're really looking and closely, intimately looking at the object and transferring what they see onto the paper. Okay, so we're going to do the exercise for 3 minutes, and I've set my timer here. But just so you know, this exercise can be done anywhere from 30 seconds to several hours. Sometimes what artists do is do the exercise as a warm-up before they do a longer sitting session. And in that case, they would do it for 1 minute to 5 minutes. Okay, so are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, so I want you to just first take a deep breath into your belly and then relax your shoulders and your neck. Relax your hands. It's really important to make sure your hands are relaxed when you're doing any type of drawing exercise. Okay, so you want to keep the hands relaxed. Have the object in front of you, and I'm going to set the timer and walk you through it, okay? So let's begin. While we're looking at the image, what I want you to do is just, by the way, I should say, just draw with lines. So you're not worried about shading, you're not worried about doing any kind of techniques. You're just drawing with line. And, sorry, can you pass that to me for a sec? And I want you to, thanks, go not just around the object, but inside. So look at the object from all different angles. Trace the inside, the concave, which means when it goes in, and the convex when the line comes out. So just follow it along everywhere. And whenever you see a darker area, just press harder with your pencil. And whenever there's light, just press really light. So I want you to vary your lines, okay? Try to be mindful of how you're putting down the lines. And soft lines, okay? So just relax. Let's begin.
Can I take my hands off the paper?
Good question. Thank you. She said, she asked me if she can take her hand off the paper. That's a very good question. No. Keep your hands on the paper. Thank you for mentioning that. And you can use your other hand as a guide to kind of remember where you were. But you cannot look down on the paper, okay? So the whole time you're looking there. If you forget where you were, that's fine. Just get back to what you're looking at.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Nope, I'm ready.
Okay, so let's begin. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you're going to begin anywhere on the object. Doesn't really matter. Following the line, wherever you see texture, try to imitate the texture with line only. And vary your line, so press harder if it's dark in some areas, and then more gently when it's light. Tracing a line through wherever your eye sees whatever you're seeing in front of you. And try to notice any temptations, any moment where you feel like you need to look down and check to see if you're doing it correctly. And just resist. Keep your eyes fixated onto the objects. Follow with your pencil. I'm giving you 3 minutes because I think 3 minutes is long enough so that we can kind of get something on paper, and Rana's going to show us at the end what she comes up with. So as you can see, she's very focused on her object and she's not looking down. Remember the difference in line. So really give character to your line. Really try to notice all the little details of line. Line is not always straight and flat. Line is really varied always in the object. So with this object, there's a lot of texture. And Rana is going to try to imitate the texture with line only. So keep going. Keep your focus on the object. Maybe with your other hand, if you like, you can just guide yourself to where you are and very lightly with the pencil just move over to another side of the object if you like, and then continue building from there with line only. Very good. You're doing very good. Keep your lines as varied as you can. Explore with the eyes. Go into the texture. Go from one side of the object to another. You can do that. You don't have to keep your pencil off the paper. You can glide it very gently on, hardly making a line, just kind of tracing over to the other side of the object. Really good. Just keep going. And with practice, you can do amazing drawings with blind contour drawings. A lot of times, I'll just spend a long time, if I'm going to be doing a drawing, just doing blind contour. 3 minutes is up. That wasn't very long, was it? Great. This is exactly the kind of drawing we're looking for. Do you want to show them what you came up with?
No.
Maybe you can take it a little closer. Yeah, so there you go. See, that doesn't have to look like the object at all, but that's the whole purpose. Thank you yet. And before I go, I want to show you that book I was talking about. So this book is a really great book if you want to get more information about blind contour drawing. It's called The Little Book of Drawing. I'll put it down in the description box for you. Yeah, and it's a really great book just for starting out with drawing. There are lots of exercises guiding you through blind contour and then describing in more detail how you can develop line contour drawing and take it on a larger level. And then it also talks about shading and other kind of techniques with drawing. This is my favorite little book of drawing, and I highly recommend it. It's a very simple, clear approach to learning how to draw, and drawing is just a really great way to take you just off your daily world, daily busy day, just for a minute or two. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you, Rana, for volunteering your time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you actually do end up doing this exercise, I would be totally happy to look at your drawings. You can email me. I'm gonna put my email down below, and you guys can send me what you came up with. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!